Most people think manipulation is about control, but what it actually feeds on is reaction. Manipulators don't fear strength. They fear calm awareness. Because the moment you see what's happening clearly, the dynamic shifts quietly but completely. If you've ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, drained, or questioning yourself, there's nothing wrong with you. That feeling doesn't mean you're weak. It usually means you are dealing with someone who knows how to create emotional pressure. And people who manipulate often target those who are thoughtful, empathetic, and willing to reflect, not because those qualities are flaws, but because they're easy to exploit. The issue isn't that you don't explain yourself well enough, or that you're too sensitive. Manipulation only works when you're pulled into reacting, defending, justifying, or proving your reality. Once awareness enters the room, the game changes. You stop playing the role they need you to play. Real power doesn't argue, it doesn't rush to correct, it doesn't need to convince. Real power observes first, and that's where self-respect quietly begins. So here's the step-by-step on how to outsmart these people. Number 1. Awareness manipulation relies on confusion, twisted words, shifting narratives, subtle guilt. The moment you pause instead of react, their strategy weakens. Awareness is something no one can control for you, and once you have it, you're no longer easy to steer. Number 2. Emotional detachment manipulators feed on emotional response. Anger, guilt, urgency, even over-explaining. Calm creates distance. You don't win by arguing. You win by staying emotionally unavailable to chaos. Detachment isn't coldness. It's wisdom choosing peace over confusion. Number 3. Pattern recognition. Once you stop taking things personally, patterns emerge. They guilt-trip to control. They play the victim to flip responsibility. They flatter to lower your guard. And when you recognize the pattern, the emotional charge disappears. You stop seeing yourself as the problem and start seeing the behavior clearly. Number 4. Boundaries without explanation. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away. They're about protecting your inner stability. You don't need to shout your limits. You don't need to justify them. A calm, firm no, spoken with self-respect is often enough. The moment you stop explaining boundaries to people who ignore them, manipulation loses its grip. Because you don't outsmart manipulation by becoming harder. You outsmart it by becoming clearer. The calmer you stay, the faster false dynamics reveal themselves. Real power doesn't need to prove anything. It simply observes and chooses differently. Listen, you don't need to confront everyone who crosses a line. You don't need to expose anyone. Often, the most powerful move is distance without drama. When you stop reacting, people who rely on control expose themselves naturally. And what you're left with is clarity, self-respect, and peace that doesn't need permission. If this helped you think again, feel free to share it with someone who might need it. And if you'd like more deep psychology, emotional wisdom, and calm reminders of your inner power, you're welcome to subscribe. And as always, thanks for listening.